Hey there, good morning. I'm Councillor Glen, and this is my weekly update for Saturday, May the 3rd. This morning, I'm on Stittsville Main Street because today is my annual Jane's Walk on Stittsville Main Street. It's part of a weekend-long festival of walking tours called Jane's Walk Ottawa. It's actually a worldwide event. Here in Ottawa, the theme this year is third spaces. So what are third spaces? Well, your home and your work are the first and second spaces. Third spaces are private and public spaces where people get together and socialize and meet people. So coffee shops and libraries and all sorts of places like that. So that's our theme this year on the Jane's Walk. It's this afternoon at 3:30. There may be a few more spots available to register if you want to join us. You can go to Jane's Walk Ottawa. That's the website. And sign up there. So hope to see, well, I'm looking forward to it. We've got about 50 people signed up, so looking forward to that this afternoon. Also today, it's a free service weekend for OC Transpo. And all trains, all buses, all paratranspo is free. Now coincides with the launch earlier this week of New Ways to Bus, the new route network. And a great opportunity to try out some of the new routes. And I know we often focus on taking the bus and the train to get to work. But one of the big changes in this New Ways to Bus is the improved local service. So I want to encourage you, if you're interested in checking it out, there's 3 local routes that serve Stittsville. Four actually. You've got the 61, the 62, the 67, and the 163. So the 67 now has Saturday and Sunday service. If you're in the Blackstone neighborhood, Fernbank Crossing neighborhoods, you can check that out. There's a new Route 163. It goes, it loops around the Farm Boy and Timbermere and Kittiwake, and then heads down Stittsville Main and Abbott, connecting all the way to Canada Centrum. The 62, the route's changed a bit to make it a little more efficient getting between Stittsville and Canada Centrum via the Tanger Outlets Mall. And Route 61, it's kind of the workhorse, serves Stittsville Main Street and Hazeldean, and it'll get you all the way to Tunney's Pasture and downtown. But if you're going out to run an errand, the bus is really about the same time locally. If you live near the route and you're trying to get to Tanger Outlets, or you're trying to get to Splitsville, the new bowling alley over at Centrum, or the movie theaters there, or maybe a local library. So encourage you to check out the local bus routes here in Stittsville and try that out this weekend on the free weekend to go out and run an errand or go to a coffee shop or something and see how that works. And I want to thank residents who contacted me about the New Ways to Bus. I've heard from a few residents with, some good things, some concerns, some complaints, some helpful ideas and suggestions. With the New Ways to Bus, the new route network, OC does have some capacity for some small adjustments right now, but we're also looking medium term, longer term. The summer service change, the fall service change, what really needs to be adjusted. One thing I'm hearing a lot about is the longer gaps between Stittsville's 200 series buses. So that's something I want to have a look at. We're trying to gather some data around the ridership there. So thank you for your feedback and keep it coming. One thing this week that a lot of you were concerned about, and me too, was the power outage on Tuesday evening, especially because it happened during the Sens game, unfortunately. We had that very heavy wind and rain and a lot of lightning, and the power outage was due to weather. And I think a lot of reasonable questions from residents. Why does the power go out when we have extreme weather? Why don't we have more resiliency? Good questions. OC Transpo, Hydro Ottawa is definitely aware, and they're making investments because we know with climate change and extreme weather, we're going to have more of these storms that really impact our hydro grid. In this case, I think it was the wind that damaged some equipment on Tuesday evening. If you're interested in learning more, go to my website and just put in hydro in the search, and you're going to see a few things. The first one is an example of some of the investments in infrastructure and resiliency. Just this week, Hydro Ottawa was in the Fringewood area to do some equipment upgrades. You're going to see a post about Jackson Trails and the reason for some of the frequent outages in Jackson Trails relating to the provincial grid. And you're going to see an article from about a year ago that I posted about the investment plan for Hydro Ottawa, on how they are adding more resiliency to our system in light of climate change and more extreme weather events. So check that out, and send me a note if you have any questions or comments there. Ottawa Public Health are alerting residents about a measles case and possible exposure in the East End. At the Food Basics on Searville Road, or at the Costco in the East End on Ogilvie. You can find more information on my website or go to ottawapublichealth.ca. Also on my website, yesterday I posted a 6-part series, a very deep dive into the zoning bylaw. City staff have now launched the public comment period for this second draft of the zoning bylaw, and it's a ton of information. It is literally hundreds of pages, and there's maps, and there's schedules and supporting documents, and I thought it was probably not super fair for us to go to residents and say, please send us your comments, without providing a bit of a guide as to what this is, what it means to Stittsville, how your neighborhood may or may not change, and what feedback are we actually looking for. So if you're interested in zoning and development and what this means for Stittsville, please check out my website, and you'll see the zoning deep dive in 6 parts. Some smaller zoning updates, or site-specific zoning updates. Down the road, Stittsville Main Street at Parade, 1883 Stittsville Main Street. There is a new site plan posted on my website for stacked townhomes by Mattamy. The Ministry of Transportation in the north part of Stittsville, near Palladium and the Queensway, that's a possible site for an expansion of their maintenance patrol yard. It's the province of Ontario Ministry of Transportation that maintains highways in Ottawa, the Queensway, Highway 7, Highway 416, and they need more space for all their maintenance equipment. They own the land right next to the Queensway at Palladium, and they're looking for public feedback on that as a potential option. Might be of particular interest to residents in the Connections community, so check that out on my website. And we're holding an open house on Monday evening about a piece of expansion land, urban expansion land, known as W2 North Stittsville. It is west of the Timbermere neighborhood between Hazeldean and Rothbourne. In fact, if you live in Timbermere, I think this will be probably of interest mostly to you as residents. We're doing an open house at the library on Monday evening. Go to glengower.ca/development, and you will see details about all of those things and any future development that gets posted, and status on existing development files and so on. Also looking for your feedback about a swing replacement over on Ralph Street Park. That's just a little bit east of me on Ralph Park Street. So Ralph Park Street is where Ralph Street Park is located, and they're replacing the swing set. So looking for feedback, go to engage.ottawa.ca for more information. We had some questions about Metric Park. It looks like it's complete, and it's very, very close. There still are some safety inspections that are pending, and they have to do some grass seed, but we are working with the developer and city staff to make sure that the final work and inspections get done as soon as possible. It looks like a great park on Metric Park. This was National Volunteer Week, and I wanted to highlight a few things. Our Volunteer Award nominations closed last Saturday, and we're just blown away by the number of nominations. We had over 50 nominations, and we'll be doing our awards ceremony at the end of the month. My team and Councillor Curry's team and Councillor Hubley's team, we made a visit to Lionhearts over on Iber Road to help out with the sorting activity. They're focused on food recovery and household goods recovery. So they work with organizations, Costco, Cobb's Bread, Starbucks, and Amazon, and they get surplus items, and then they sort it and redistribute it to local food banks, local social agencies, and charities. And it's quite an amazing operation, so really great opportunity to volunteer there. Thank you to the team at Lionhearts for that and for everything you do. And yesterday morning, I got to drop in at the Western Ottawa Community Resource Center volunteer breakfast. Western Ottawa does a ton of community and social support here in our community in the west end of Ottawa, so really great to celebrate their volunteers, and thank you to all the volunteers who get involved. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities in the community. We're always trying to help organizations connect with residents. Residents connect with organizations who want to volunteer. You can go to glengower.ca/volunteers and sign up to our Volunteer Connect, and it's an email we send out a couple times a month with volunteer opportunities. One of those opportunities is our Welcome to Stittsville Festival that is coming up on June the 7th, and we're looking for volunteers for that. It's going to be a great afternoon. And speaking of our Welcome to Stittsville Festival, that's focused on Stittsville's diversity and all the cultures and people from different countries that we have here. And related to that, we've posted our monthly multicultural calendar online as well, with all of the multicultural and human rights events on the calendar for the month of May. I should talk about some upcoming events really quickly before I wrap up. Tomorrow, the Red Pashmina Walk is happening for the first time in Ottawa. This is from the Ottawa chapter of Right to Learn Afghanistan. They're focused on women and girls' education and women's rights in Afghanistan. That's happening here in Stittsville tomorrow. Later this morning, I'm going to be popping over to the parkrun first anniversary over on the Trans-Canada Trail. Later on today at Firehouse Subs, they're doing a Touch a Truck event, and I believe Ottawa Fire is going to be there for that, so a good event for kids there. And the Lions are hosting a Mother's Day tea a little bit early today. Next weekend on Saturday, there is a Stittsville Garage Sale being organized, trying to get all the neighborhoods, all the streets involved in that. You can find more information on my website at glengower.ca. And I have two final thank yous, a thank you and a heads up, I guess, to wrap it up. A thank you to the Hollabell Foundation. They did this week a spay-neuter palooza for cats, and Stittsville was one of the locations, and they helped to get 40 cats spayed or neutered, so great job from the volunteers at Hollabell. And last thing I wanted to mention is thinking of our neighbors up along the Ottawa River in West Carleton, in Britannia, in Orleans and elsewhere around the community. They are on a flood watch right now, and there's already some minor flooding happening, and there's a possibility of more severe floods. So thinking of them and maybe a need for volunteers to help with sandbags, but watch for that. We'll do a call out if that's necessary. Okay, that was a lot of updates. Thank you for joining me. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you here next week. Take care.